Good day, everybody. So, just to apologise in advance, I'm not feeling super great. I recently had to go through London in the underground, packed train, makes sense. Unfortunately, I'm sick. I can't help that, but I'm going to try my best to get through all of this. And unfortunately, last week I didn't do a 48-hour analysis. Well, I was away, didn't bring any recording equipment with me. I do apologise in that regard as well. But it was also Easter week too, and not that many people cared about it. So, I think we can let that pass. We'll just move on from there. So regardless, shall we talk about the current week skins, discuss what potentially they might reach up to by next Thursday, and figure out whether these skins are still looking to be nice investments or not. So, let's just jump straight in. First 24 hours of sales, and it is looking better compared to the previous week. But I don't really want to compare to the Easter week skins because they just didn't have that much interest, and they sold very, very low. So, with what we can see here, the Fetch new M249 was actually doing very good. For a $3 M249, that was the top selling skin. Is it actually going to maintain that position? No. So, followed with that, we have the Deep Ruby SAP doing just over 6,000 subscribers. That's doing pretty alright. Sheet with the Doors not too far off. Like, at the very least, all these skins are fairly close to each other. But, regardless, I'm still looking at these skins and still thinking, well, I don't really expect anything to spike that much. Well, you still have the hoodie and pants here, and I'm not expecting that to sell that much. That definitely looks like it's lining up quite nicely with the Tier 2. And of course, we are still anticipating now Tier 3 or boots and gloves, so, okay. I'm very surprised to see that Chrome Bombshell Python really isn't selling that much. Like, how much is that going to sell if it's only done 4,300 subscribers in the first 24 hours of sales? Fair enough. Alright then, so it's not looking like it's going to be insane sales, but it still looks like it's better compared to the previous week. Now, if we could just quickly hop over to here. Ta-da! It's not exactly 48 hours. I've had to kind of sleep a fair bit, you know, considering the condition. I do apologise. But it's kind of close enough. So, with what we're currently looking at now, the Deep Ruby SAP did, eclipse the M249 by quite a lot, to be honest. So, that's a bit funny, isn't it? But I think I'll probably still pair the both of them together when trying to figure out how much they might sell by next Thursday. One will sell less than the other, of course. But yeah, I tend to generalise, don't I? But overall, it is, by default, immediately better compared to the previous week. So just to remind you, with the previous week's skins, we didn't get a single one that sold over 10,000 subscribers. However, because of that, all of these skins are currently right now doing very good because there's next to no listings. Hardly any purchases led to a sheer lack of listings. But give it a week or two still, and they probably still will go down in price. But like, that only sold 6,000 subscribers. The first the first combat knife skin to be accepted into Rust in a very long time. So when I first saw these skins, just to remind all of you, my initial thoughts were, okay, maybe they're not going to sell that much like with what we saw the previous week. And I can't help but assume next week's skins, the skins that we're going to see for the May FORCEWIPE with the introduction of Jungle Update, yep, so kicking off next week. Colours my voice there, I apologise. Yeah, I can't help but assume it might be a lot more busy, a lot more interesting. I think a lot of people are looking forward to the idea of some more green clothing and armour, weapons, deplorables, we'll see. So, okay, maybe it's going to be a bit of a calm week as well this week, but maybe, all of May is going to be pretty insane. Let's see if Face Punch is going to allow themselves to be a bit lenient and accept more green skins. But for now, looking at these skins right here, let's now take into consideration sales and try and figure out how much they're going to sell next week. So I'm going to go do the SAP and the M249 together. Now, typically, I'd look at the first 24 hours of sales, I'd do my comparisons, and, well, considering this did eclipse that, well, of course, the SAP's going to sell more than the M249 from here and now, but I'm going to do both of them at the same time. So if we're going to kind of go with about 6 to 6,500 subscribers, if I were to go for, quite a bit back, is there anything that we could compare to? I mean, I could look at the Deep Ruby crossbow. So what was this? March 2025? So let's go back over to there. Ooh, that's a bit of a distance away. So all the way over to here, we can now remember that the Deep Ruby crossbow did 17,000 subscribers. Okay. Well, considering that we're now looking at both of these skins here, 2 days in, and they're over 9,000 subscribers, that definitely seems quite achievable. So if I was to, generalise, I think what I'm going to go with is 15,000 subscribers to 18,000 subscribers, which is not too bad. For a SAP, that's okay. I still think that's like one of the highest selling SAPs in terms of all the skins. So if I could just quickly show you this, so high subscribers, yes, that would actually make it the second highest ever SAP skin. But it's a very unique design. Just to remind you, with this Deep Ruby SAP, I don't think we're going to see anything that could compare to that. Very shiny, mind you. Consider watching my rust rotation video to get a much better look at it. The aim sight, still perfectly fine with its red aim sight. And I am still anticipating more Deep Ruby skins to be produced and accepted. So, okay, maybe it does work out quite nicely. At the very least, I do expect it to retain its value nicely. But is it going to be a huge profit at some point in the future? That's the thing I doubt. I do expect to do a very good job in retaining price. I just don't expect huge gains. So, okay, a smart barter can always lead to some success. But then we turn our attention to the factory new M249. And first of all, the factory new collection. It is, well, the SAP's actually improved with the arrival of this. Just wanted to point that out. But the AK, it's still a bit down. It did improve a little bit, but it's still down pretty bad, unfortunately. A $4 skin, now selling for $2.25. But we are still seeing these factory new skins being produced. I can't help but assume we might end up seeing some clothing and armour from this. Mr. Bear Trip, he tends to do weapon collections, then delves into clothing and armour. I just don't know what it's going to be, because if you've seen these skins for yourself, they're like metallic, but the way they kind of like reflect light, it always makes it appear as if it's really dark. So a lot of people have mistakenly assumed it's like a black collection. That thumbnail's doing it no good. But okay, now let's just focus more specifically the fact that this is an M249. I don't have a lot of faith in this, I'm afraid to say. Like, okay, maybe it does, stay above like $1. Okay, cool. That's a lot better compared to most weapon skins in general. But that's still going to be, going down, I expect. I still believe it's going to drop off. I'm sorry to say, but again, how often are you even using an M249? And then where's the justification to own a skin? Point made. So I think 15 to 18,000 subscribers is a perfectly fine amount to consider for both of them. But whilst I'm more, confident with one, not so much with the other. All right. So both of them are abnormal. Don't forget, next Wednesday night I will be streaming. Consider looking in the description right now. See links to all my socials, more specifically my Twitch. I'll be on stream about 9 PM London time, and we'll consider what prices we want to offer for the abnormal skins. But from here, let's now move on and talk about the Whittled door. Now, it is a little bit far off from the AK. Are we going to do both, or are we just going to do the sheet metal door by itself? Let's go see. I think I'll do both. All right, then, yeah, let's go do both. Whittled door and Coquillard. Oh, no. So, let's go ahead and see what we can compare to. I might do the B-metal door and the gunhouse double door. Actually, that's not too bad, but there is a bit of a problem. Do you remember this rust door? It rotated very late, and then it was what came next? It was an update, wasn't it? It was a FORCEWIPE. So this only was like this was only like a rust door for about like 6 days and a quarter. I guess it probably still can hurt to try. I mean, yeah, because that did sell a bit more. Okay, let's go see how that performed. So what week is that? That is March 28. So yes, let's go over to here. So these skins all here, honestly, if they had like a full proper week, they probably have sold a little bit more, wouldn't they? But just to look at these two here, this did just over... Oh, no. Here we are. 11,600... okay, sorry about that. The Gunhouse Double Door did 11,600 subscribers. I bought a bunch of these. That's worked out quite nicely. And the sheet metal door here, it's actually working out quite nicely with its transparency. People do seem to be appreciating it. That did 13,000 subscribers. Now, if I were to generalise, I think what I'll probably suggest when I'm looking at these two skins over here is, I think we'll sit here and say 11 to 14,000 subscribers. Whittled door does look pretty cool in game, and again, consider watching my rust rotation video, or at the very least, look at my shorts. I did do a short for that, skin there. It looks nice, but I've seen so many sheet metal doors, so at $2.49, and then just kind of crash and burn. You might sit and say, oh, but it doesn't sound like that's that many sales. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry to say, it really doesn't matter. There are so many sheet metal doors to compare to, and we're about to get another Twitch drop for absolutely free, which glows in the dark. I don't have a lot of faith in it, I'm afraid. So that very likely might just drop off down to less than $1, and it really wouldn't be too surprising. Now, by all means, if you like the skin, buy it as you enjoy it. Treat yourself, support the skin creator, and keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting about nice creative designs in the future. And keep an eye out over the course of this weekend, because you might happen to see a collection continuation. Or maybe more fern leaves. We don't know. Wait, there was a carriage door. Oh, okay then. All right, well, at least you know about that now. Right then, so we'll keep an eye on that. But then in regards to the AK, I'm still not convinced. I know. See, they've even changed it here now as well. Haha, funny joke. Very funny. But do you remember, like, Good Boy AR? So if I just type in Good Boy, this was even sillier, right? This was even more, dare I say, rude. So if you go over to here and look at the workshop, you probably remember it now. Get a good look at that. That was very funny when that came out. And what was that? Like 3 years ago? No, 2 years ago. Okay, yeah. Well, the price it sells for now is like nothing. It sells for $1.15 on the Steam market, with the highest barter being $1. That was a lot more like in your face with the joke. I don't think the Rooster AK, the Cock AR, I don't think that's going to hold up. Maybe simply for the name itself, it'll probably do all right for a while, but as time goes on, with more Twitch drops, with more AKs and Rustors, it will lose interest, and lose attention, and it'll very likely just drop off. I'm not convinced with it. But with 11 to 14,000 subscribers, could that be a little bit different? Even then, I'm like, not really convinced, I'm afraid to say. Now, again, just go over to here on SCM.app, compare to all the other assault rifles, if you so wish, or AK-47s, and just look at all the highest subscribers. Where's that positioned out of almost 300 AKs? A little bit below at the moment, but if you're kind of pushing up to about like 11 to 12,000 subscribers, maybe, yeah, a little bit more in the higher part of the middle. But yeah, so many of these skins in the red, it ain't looking very good. Oh, no, it's not. So, by all means, if you think it's funny and like it, buy it. Appreciate it. But if you're looking at it as an investment, let's do the abnormal barders first. That skin is abnormal. So next Wednesday, we'll approach that. Right then, so moving on. Shall we talk about the Starry Dream Thompson and maybe the Python? So let's just go over to here. Did they match up quite nicely? They did. Wow, they've really kind of got some distance between them. So, okay, 4,600 here, 4,300 here. I'm not expecting ridiculous sales for the both of them. So, okay. Let's go ahead and do a nice comparison. What did similar sales? I might sit here and say the Factory New SAP and the Cryo Fridge. And again, because this Rustor didn't have like a full proper week, it's actually probably a very good thing to compare to. So, okay, let's go back over to there. And what do we see for the Fridge and the SAP? Well, that actually eclipsed this. But here you go. This just about did over 10,000 subscribers, and this was just a little bit below. And you know what? Going back over to here, I think we can probably agree that might be all right. I might bump it up. I might sit there and say 9,000 subscribers to 11,000 subscribers. For both of them, well, for a Thompson, that's a bit, it's all right. It's not like ridiculous. It's a very average amount of sales. And for the Starry Dream, well, I mean, well, if you probably end up around here in the middle, the lower part of the middle area. Thompsons are a bit, but they don't go down in price too badly. And that right there with its collection, unfortunately, down 51 and down 50%. Oh dear, oh dear. I think it can work out better. Like, I've given this a good looking game and whatnot. It's a very pretty pattern. I do expect some more Starry Dream skins to be produced, accepted by Sun Art. Keep an eye out. You never know what they're going to be producing next. Oh, Ancient Green. We'll probably see something else as well from. Anyway, with this, well, it's not abnormal. That's the one little concern, I'm afraid. So, regardless, just also take a quick look at all the Thompsons. How many of the black ones are holding up quite nicely? I think you'd be surprised to see that, Black Diamond's still doing very good. Scroll. You've got Pirate Collection doing very good. Cybercode, you could probably assume, is a little bit black. I mean, it's actually not looking that bad. The amount of sales, it actually looks like it's something where you might want to do a decent barter in it. It actually looks like something that could actually be might actually be a good thing to consider buying. Is it going to be a ridiculous profit? No. If you're looking, if you had to buy something in this Rustor, that's not looking too bad. But a smart barter probably is the better way to go about it. And it might be like a $1 to $1.50 barter situation. So, okay, we'll leave it at that. Now, Chrome Bombshell Python's definitely a bit of a surprise. If this is only going to do between 9 to 11,000 subscribers, that means when you compare this, of course, to the Redemption and the Blackout Python once again, considering that they both have the special transparent aim sights, this is going to be the lowest selling one by quite a decent amount. So let's say it did 10,000 subscribers. That would be 4,000 less compared to the Redemption Python, and that would be almost 10,000 less compared to the Blackout Python. And it is the cheapest by default as well. It's it's got a very nice, cool, shiny looking design. I might want to point that out. And when I think it was either my predictions video or my Rust rotation video, but I had to remind people, we did have a very interesting SAR not too long ago, Bombshell SAR that is, and this also happened to have a transparent aim sight, which you can see right here. Now the sales it got was like fairly average, and after a while on the Steam market, it didn't really change that much. So if I could just quickly zoom out, you'll see with its sales history, it was actually down pretty low. But around, what, February time, it just randomly it just goes up. It just goes up. I don't know exactly what caused this, but someone walked in, bought about 70 of them, and suddenly the price goes from about like $1.80 to what it is now, $5, $6. Did someone on YouTube happen to use it? Big fan base? I don't know. You can tell me if you want. But anyway, I can't help but assume we might see something similar to this. And I also should remind you, a good month or so ago, the Redemption Python wasn't exactly doing super great, and I think someone on the Play Rust subreddit, they pointed out and said Redemption Python's got the exact same aim sight as the Blackout Python. It's like 6 times cheaper. Suddenly everybody bought it. Now it's basically retaining its value at the moment, its Rust price. But with this brand new one here being 50 cents cheaper, could that be a bit of a damper on this? Most likely. Chrome Bombshell Python. I'm very curious about this one, but it's also not abnormal. It might be interesting, but by default, just to quickly remind all of you, Python skins in general, not very good investments. I get the feeling people just don't happen to like Pythons. Yep, it's a bit unfortunate, but you can clearly see that, can't you? So, do I want to purchase some, or do I just gonna go for a good buy order? I think I'll probably stick with the buy order. I'll probably be something like 90 cents to $1.30. Let's see what the sales look like on Wednesday night. Then of course we'll approach it. Sounds good? Okay. So let's talk about the tie, hoodie and pants. And well, I think I've got a very good thing to compare to. So just to point this out, this is just over 4,100 subscribers each. All right, cool. Oh, if only there's something we could compare to. Oh, we could probably look at the tier 2 right here. Now, just to quickly remind you, this Rust store, it was very late to rotate in. And then, of course, we had the FORCEWIPE. And, with the FORCEWIPE, with the update for April, Rust stores, it rotated early. With every FORCEWIPE we have, the Rust stores tend to be early. That right there, that really didn't sell that much. So hopping back over to here, I now noticed that, well, the difference in sales is like 200. So that's actually not looking too bad. So going back over to here, all right, I know that the sales are different. I know this was a bit funny, but let me tell you this. If the tie, hoodie and pants had like 1,000 subscribers more compared to the tier 2, it really wouldn't make that much of a difference. It really wouldn't make that much of a difference. And that would likely mean that the tire collection is sticking with the idea of being the lowest selling blackout alternative option. Now, take into consideration, maybe people don't like the design. Fair enough. Maybe people don't want to buy it because they already have blackout alternatives. Fair enough. But we're still anticipating tier 3. We're still anticipating boots and gloves, and it's in a very good spot. Tie, hoodie and pants are definitely look to be very, very appealing, and they're also both abnormal. We can do early buy orders on them. Now, if you've seen these on the Steam market, you might notice that they've been going up in price quite nicely. But will we have a bit of a wait time in regards to how long the tier 3 might, be produced and accepted, and boots and gloves, of course, as well? We did kind of allude to this a little bit earlier. Next week, it is the May FORCEWIPE, and of course, we're going to have the jungle update, and of course, we very likely might be seeing a lot of jungle-themed skins. We very likely might be seeing a lot of green stuff. Ooh. But just to quickly remind you as well, the amount of tier 3 armor I saw being submitted for the workshop last week, it was pretty insane. There was like 7 different options, and like 4 of them were green, so I can't help but assume we might not be seeing tier 3 for a while. The skin creator could be a little bit strategic and wait a fair bit. That's up to him. But, I think the hoodie and pants are going to be lining up quite nicely with this. I'm going to sit here and say I reckon it's going to do between 9,000 to 10,000 subscribers. And I'm fine with that. I am definitely fine with that. And you know what? I might say 8,000 to 10,000. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, to be honest with you. But, the hoodie and pants are looking very appealing. And here's the next question. You might sit there and say, so, okay, does that mean it's going to go and the price is going to be insane and whatnot? Well, at the end of the day, there's still the other blackout alternatives, all right? It's in a very good spot because it's not selling that much. And if there's not that much available and then a continuation appears and suddenly everybody wants it, it's more likely to go up in price very easily compared to like other skins. So, yes, it is looking good. It is looking interesting, but we might have to wait a while for that tier 3 to actually be accepted, just to clarify, all right? So, yeah, all right, that is looking good. Not expecting ridiculous sales. And if you want to get a good look at this with the tier 2 armor on, consider watching my rust rotation video. Look at the chapters, you'll be able to skip ahead, and it does look good. And if you're concerned about the colours of red and blue, it's not noticeable. Like, just a bit of distance away, you can't see it. Shall we now talk about these other 2 deplorables here? So we have the wooden door and the storage. Let's go over and take a look. So with the first 24 hours of sales, they did very similar. And after about 2 days, they're still doing very similar. So 3,300 subscribers. Do we have anything that can compare to that? Oh, I've got the RSI sleeping bag, 3,400. Yep, that's fine. Well, okay, this month in particular has been very, very good to us. I was very much concerned to compare with this, but this did sell a little bit more compared to the storages, so I guess that's all right. So that only did 7,800 subscribers almost. Okay, so I think I'll say 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers for the 2 deplorables over to here. Now, in regards to the wooden door, it's a nice wooden door. I'm still hoping for a wooden double door, but that's a wooden door, and people don't like wooden doors. That was a very fun way of saying it, Hedge. Yeah, I know, but it's like... yeah, scroll down a little bit. Yep. Prices aren't doing very good. Point made. So, yeah, people don't really care enough about wooden door skins. However, this little lamb box, for you to only do about, let's say about 8,000 subscribers, I've got to sit here and say, I think that actually might work out very nicely in the future. Now, I did make a, comparison. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Sorry. If we could just quickly go back, I did point out the cute bunny from Easter quite a long time back. Yes, it's an Easter themed skin, but it's also a very cute bunny. And that actually is positive on the Steam market right now, in the green. I don't know if it's going to have the same effect, but how much did that do? 9,400 subscribers. This is very likely to be selling less. Now, the skin creator is in a position where they could probably do like a cow, a horse. They could do a whole bunch of these small boxes. They could make a set. And then you could be a farmer with your chicken coops and all your animals in the fields. But, I could see that actually working out quite nicely due to the nice, cute, silly design of it. Now, in terms of functional, helpful, useful, usefulness of it, it doesn't glow or anything, and it's honestly just looking to be interesting based on the fact that it's cute. Do you like cute? Do you want to pay money for cute? I'd love to hear your comments. Do you care enough about that? Because at the moment, the lack of sales would imply that there's not that much interest. So, lack of sales can still lead to some interesting things, but that's not abnormal. Unfortunately, that's a bit of a concern. So, okay. We'll leave it at that then. So 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers for these 2. And then the final 2 skins, the tools. I am instantly expecting these are going to go down to $1. I'm very sorry to say, but hatchet skins, pickaxe skins, that's like an inevitability. Now, if I were to just go over to here, if I could just see what they did, 2,800 and 2,500 subscribers. Do we have anything that could compare to that? By the looks of things, it doesn't look like it, no. Oh, you got the Hyperstar there, 2,800. Okay, that is March 6. Okay, so I'll go over to there and I'll take a look. March 6, here we are. Hyperstar, that did like 6,000 subscribers, so yeah, okay. 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers, we shall see, we shall see. In regards to the tools, I've already said it, so unfortunately, yeah, I'm fully expecting it to go down to around $1. Now, the funny thing is the disease hatchet is selling for a higher price, and it is abnormal. We could do the abnormal barders, I've got no issue with that. It's just, I don't think that's going to hold. I do expect it to go down to $1. So, for what it is, it's a bit of a yucky design, but that's fully intended. So the skin creator did a very good job of that. But is it going to continue? I have no idea. I mean, you could go to the workshop and just keep an eye on what they're doing. He made a fish. We'll see, right? But I don't expect anything to really help that out. I've seen many tools come out over the past few years. All of them go down in price. And the only instances you see them going up into the positive is usually when they get manipulated. And I've already pointed this out. If you go on the go look at all the hatchets right now and just scroll down a little bit, you will probably see that we have a $30 Wasteland hatchet on the Steam market. What? What's manipulation? So if you could just go over to here. Now, just to remind all of you, I have Steam Inventory Helper that lets me get to see more like listings and buy orders. All these barders here, it's all fake. It's all the manipulators. They're all in a big group. They're trying to make this appear to be a lot more valuable than what it actually is. And if you were to go ahead and look this up in terms of its actual item page on SCM APP, you'll find out that it's got like next to no third-party listings. And oh, wouldn't you guess, it's got like only 20 being listed here, probably by the same people manipulating the price. So they're hoping to trick some people, offload the stock and try and trade it over from actual genuine like valuable skins. And when they stop, pumping up the value of it, oh look, it's suddenly gone back down to $1 again. Actually, probably even less, which has happened in the past because you can see it right here when you look at the sales history. So I could just hide liquidity, and there you go. Look at that. See how it was pumped in the past right there? And then it went down, 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 all the way down to like 70 cents at one point, and then it's been manipulated again. So yeah, just a little heads up. Don't go anywhere near that if you, you don't want to get accidentally scammed. Right then. So that's all the skins, and don't forget all the estimates are listed in the description. So let's just talk about some other things. I'm sure many of you are fully well aware with the update next week, we're going to have the Twitch drops, and I have uploaded a brand new video, which I can link to you right over to here. There you go. It's about 40 minutes long. You're probably surprised. Hey, how did you manage to get for that long? Well, I do some comparisons and whatnot. See that garage door over there? It's transparent, angle on the dark. So I compared that with the Rustified garage door that we got for free last year. Do you remember the charitable Rust Twitch drops? Yep. So do a bit of a comparison. Both the garage doors are quite useful. Don't forget, absolutely free. Right? All of them. You just have to spend 14 hours of your time to get all of them. Right, we got the whole month of May to get the skins. All of them are generic. You can watch anyone on Twitch to get these skins. You can watch me if you want to. So just point out. But yeah, all of them are chaptered, so you can just skip ahead, and you can see that the part where I say, hey, I'm doing some comparisons and whatnot. So yep. Right, so that's all there for you to give it a good look. Get yourself all nice and hyped up. And if you want to get yourself even more hyped up, don't forget I have all these short videos here. I have so many videos of me in the jungle when I was on Orcs on staging, and just like getting a good look at some primitive green skins in the jungle, some actual proper sets like jungle, reptile hunter, Forest Raiders, UFO set with, flashbacks, Tankarm with flashbacks, Franken Tier 3 with flashbacks, Elite Crate Collection. Like, pretty much anything green's good. Anything, even the standard hoodie, it's ridiculous. So, oh yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a very fun time. So many people are going to get ambushed by people hiding in bushes. It's going to happen a lot. So, okay, cool. That's a wonderful thing to be aware of. Yay. Now, if I could quickly hop over to here. Is there anything else I need to point out? Player count's all right. It's gone down below 100,000 for this month. Quite unfortunate, but it's next week, May. That's going to be the beginning of where we start seeing the numbers go all the way back up again. So if you thought, oh, wow, the prices have been pretty bad, the player count's been dropping off, that was all expected. So it looks like we're past the worst of it now, fully. And from here on now, we can expect good things, right? But yes, with this update, we should expect a lot of people turning up for next Thursday. Will we beat the all-time peak player count? I'm kind of steering towards no, because kids are still in school. But when we go through June and July, that's where I expect us to have some very good all-time peak player counts and, of course, average player counts for the months. So, yes, things are looking pretty good now. We still can't see like what's being bought out. The Steam market is still broken. Remember, it's a Valve issue, not a face punch issue. And I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, God, sorry. Oh, I saved it. Okay. You know what? I'll keep that in because I probably did a very silly face there. Oh, I've been sneezing non-stop today, and once again, I do. Oh God! Right. All right. Maybe I should wrap this up. Okay. Sorry about that. I've been sneezing all day. I'm not like feeling like really. Oh, it's just I've been sneezing non-stop. Coughing, not very nice. So yeah, I do apologise, but I managed to get through all of this, and I hope you feel a lot more happier knowing how things are looking to line up. A lot more better than what I'm feeling. So yes, things are actually looking pretty okay here, but the next question is have you been keeping on a workshop? Have you been keeping track of all the new submissions? And will we actually see some cool green stuff being accepted next week? Alright, so stay healthy, look forward to the next week, And let's see what actually gets accepted. So, yeah, currently right now I am building up a brand new collection of all the new skin submissions. And let's stay positive and let's stay optimistic, I guess you could say. So keep an eye on those commits. Although it's just going to probably be jungle stuff because they're obviously trying to get that nice and ready. But from here and now, what's going to be the next big update? It's going to probably be that naval update, isn't it? That might not be out for another few months. So are we going to see some smaller things in the meantime? Oh, and don't forget, we also got like 3 different DLCs to look forward to next week. The building skin, the coconut armor, and the jungle black pack with the AK, the rock, the shelves, the brand new barrels and whatnot. Yeah, so if you're going to sit there and say, oh, I really don't feel like spending my money this week, I don't blame you. You're going to need quite a lot of it for next week, so cool. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. Sing goodbye.